You asked for a fountain pen video, so here it is. My favorite fountain pens inks of this current year, 2023, what I've used more frequently. And also we're gonna visit the fountain pen ink cemetery. So this is where we retire some of the inks that we have not used. Anyway, join me in this video. Let me showcase what's very interesting this current year. As always, I'm your host Aaron from PenVenture. Welcome to another video on the PenVenture YouTube channel. And in this one, it's all about fountain pen inks. So it's the sort of a format that I don't use to record as often because it's messy. So this is one of the factors. But anyway, it's the end of the year period, so it's very interesting to visit some of the favorite inks of this current year. I'm going to show you some of the interesting things regarding each of them. I don't know if it's going to be a long video or short video, but anyway, I'm going to try to be as quick as possible with the explanation, with everything, to showcase some of the beautiful inks that I've used more frequently. I'm going to show you what's been my top favorite, to say so, inks, because I've used them so much. This year that stands almost behind us because it's just a few more days. In no specific bias order, I'm going to start with the exclusive inks of myself with Diamine. And we have two of them. We have the Desert Rose ink, possibly very known by now. It's been having like almost 2 years since we make this ink. It's one of those inks that let's just say, I reach out to ink some of my fountain pens with this specific ink. You have to understand that this is a sheening ink, so it has a little bit more pigment. It's not that easy to be cleaned from fountain pens. So this is why I don't use it in demonstrator fountain pens, and also just use it not that frequently, like maybe something super simple without having sheen pigments or too much pigments altogether in that specific ink. This year, I try something different. I designed another exclusive ink with Diamine, and it's Neptune Blue. So all of the lessons that we learned from Desert Rose, we applied to Neptune Blue. We opted to have two different specific bottles. So we have 80 milliliter bottles for Neptune Blue and also 30 milliliter bottles. Disclaimer, I don't know who it's going to have a very big nib fountain pen to actually draw ink from such a small bottle. But anyway, you requested us to have more opportunities to just enjoy this beautiful sheening inks. So I said, yes, let's do 30 milliliter bottles. For Neptune Blue, we also learned that we need to just tame down a little bit of that sheening aspect. So we do have a blue-black ink, which has a little bit of a reddish sheen going on. And this is something that it's much more easy to clean. So these two inks look something like this on the paper. We have Desert Rose, which is this beautiful purple burgundy-ish color with a lot of pigment, some green gold sheen, and it's beautiful. And right here we have the Neptune Blue ink, which is blue-black, one of my favorite shades of inks for fountain pens, and has this copperish reddish sheen going on. And have a look at this. So if we are gonna be just glistening the paper like this in light, it shines. And this is why these two inks have been more frequently used this year. I'm gonna use something super handy like my glass pen, something of this kind, and we're gonna go through them. I don't know where to start. I'm gonna start with something which is super safe, and is the Waterman Serenity Blue. So this is one of the colors that I used more and more this year. Not only that, I almost finished an entire bottle. So this is demanding a specific price if you finish a bottle of ink, although this year I'm going to show you how many bottles of ink I just completely finished. And this is a super safe ink. So this is Waterman, and I'm going to try to go something like this. Serenity Blue. It's gonna be a messy video. I warned you, and the only fact that this is super safe makes me use it more and more in so many of my fountain pens. So whenever I have the chance to use it in something that requires a little bit more care. For example, if you have a piston fountain pen, or if you have something which is very, very difficult to clean and it requires a lot of water to be pushed through the system, this is the ink that I choose. It has a little bit of sheen. It's beautiful. If you lay down plenty of this ink, it's gonna be nice on the paper. I'm gonna try to use the overhead camera to capture these beautiful colors, but bear with me because this is not a very, very easy process. Inks, water, liquids, cameras, small desk. Let's just hope that we're not going to spill anything on this beautiful white desk of mine. Waterman Serenity Blue, a very solid choice this year for myself. Where we should go next? Well, we're gonna go with something from Leonardo, which is something that I simply adore. It's Tashi Red, or Vino, the wine. Something super, super nice from Leonardo Officina Italiana. I am very, very, let's just say, drawn to use this ink in a lot of my fountain pens. I don't know why. It's just every single year there's a different taste. I like more some of my other inks that maybe I had them for many, many years, but till this point I haven't used them. So it's just like a trend. I see something on Instagram, something captures my eye, someone is posting something super nice, and I say, wow, that's a super cool ink. Wait a minute, I have that ink. So I start to use it. I start to just form a habit of using it. So this year I've used a lot of Tashi Red ink from Leonardo Officina Italiana. If I'm not mistaken, I finished an entire bottle, but I'm not completely sure. So we have Leonardo Tashi Red. It's just like a burgundy color, something a little bit more tame. This is very, very easy to be cleaned from fountain pens, and I grown to like a lot this characteristic of a specific ink because I change them so frequently. And I'm gonna use the Q-tip. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more to have a much more clear vision of this ink colors. Here we go. It's just like a very, very good, solid, reddish color of an ink. It's a dry ink. Dry inks are not that bad, are easy to be cleaned. They have a lot more character when you write with them. It shows beautiful on the page. I'm gonna show you something super saturated on the different spectrum. And this is Scrembo Blue Cosmico. I love blue-black inks. I love deep black and blue inks, but this is spectacular. The only thing that I have with this specific ink is the fact that it's not that inexpensive of an ink, and it's a little bit more thick. But if you have something like, if you have a fountain pen which is having a broader nib, this is a super, super interesting ink for your fountain pen. It's so wet, it's flowing so well, and this makes up for a great, great look on the page if you use also a very, very good paper. And by good paper, I mean anything and everything above Rhodia, or starting with Rhodia, what I'm using right now, and above, like Tomo River paper, Claire Lafontaine, Graffillo, something from Tachi as well. Let's have a go. So this is Scrembo Blue Cosmico. A very, very good ink. I would say that this is more of a treat ink, so I treat myself with, because it's not that inexpensive. If you like to have something super, super interesting, something with a lot of character, heavy, this is a wonderful choice for a blue ink. And let's do a swab. Let's see how it's looking on the paper. So it goes down just like maybe black, but as you see, going much more drier, you actually see that this is a wonderful blue-black ink at its core. Most important, you will see a specific sheen, which I hope I'm capturing at this moment, but I'm not completely sure. You can pretty much spot right here at the lip of the bottle some of that very nice deep sheen on this ink. What do you want to see next? Let me show you something from KVZ. This is Baltic Memories. This is a very, very special and beautiful ink. I just like how it goes down on the page, but it's in the same neighborhood, just like the blue Cosmico from Scrembo, which is a little bit more deep, some sheen going on, pretty much a lot of pigment, and some sweet smell of vanilla. So we have KVZ Baltic. If you have certain fountain pens which, let's just say, are more easy to clean, like cartridge converters, something that you don't mind to just throw in a ultrasonic cleaner and to just clean it very, very thorough, this is one of those inks that I do recommend you having in your collection. And let's go with a swab. You can see this is a very nice teal almost color. So if you go down from a super wet nib down to something which is a little bit more dry, you will see the actual color itself. So this is a beautiful tealish color with a lot of a reddish sheen going on. I just love the smell of vanilla, and I hope I have not painted my mustache. So no, I'm safe. I told you, I don't use this kind of a format videos because they are quite messy to do. Some of the inks that I've showed you are available also on our PenVenture website. If you are interested to check them up, you can find a link down below and you can just type in, search a specific name, and you will find them. Let me show you something super nice that maybe a lot of you that ordered lately fountain pens from PenVenture or any other, maybe you've had orders with PenVenture, you will always find a handwritten note with that specific order that you placed with us. So lately I've been enjoying a lot this ink, and I have this ink in my drawer for the past 4 or 5 years, but I have not used it, and I have 4 bottles. It's Blanc Lucky Orange. So the last time I've used this ink was in a Visconti Homo Sapiens fountain pen, and it got to be crusty. So the nib looked horrible, and I just simply put it away in a drawer and forgot about it. I've seen a lot of videos with beautiful orange inks or yellowish orange inks, and I said, I need to check to see what do I have orange and super saturated, because I don't like that very mellowish orange inks. No, I want something super popping and super interesting. So I've used this ink in one specific fountain pen, and it's my Gravitas Ultimate Vac in Ultem. We're not going to use the glass deep pen because we do have it right here, and this is Blanc Lucky Orange. There is a lot of pigment in this ink. There is a lot of vibrance, to say so, and I just love how it goes down on the page. It's super wet, it's interesting. I bet it's not that, let's just say, easy to clean, since it's just a reddish orangish color with a lot of pigment. But again, I just can disassemble my Ultimate Vac from Gravitas, and it's very easy to clean. Now look at this spectacular color. I just love this orangish goodie of an ink, how it goes down on the page, how nice it looks. It's a little bit more transparent. If you have it in a fountain pen, it's almost transparent, and I just love to see it in my Ultimate Vac fountain pen. And this is something that, just like I told you, I've been keeping in my drawer for the past few years, but now I started to use it. So it's just like a trend. I see something captures my eye, and I say, this is something that I want to use. Well, let's move further, and we're gonna go with the Diamine mention, of course. I have something from Diamine, which, as you see right here, is just like, maybe I have like half of a bottle. Poppy Red. This is something that I've used in a lot of fountain pens, and it's a great red color for what it is and for the cost of it. Diamine inks are super reliable, greatly priced, and overall I had only good things to say about Diamine inks altogether. Let's see how it looks on the paper, and we're gonna go with the Diamine Poppy Red. If you want to have something super vibrant, super fresh, super chic, to say so, this is my choice for such an ink. And let's see how it goes down in a swab. So it goes from a super nice and clearish red ink all the way to something which is very nice. It has shading going on, there is no sheen. So let's move further to the next one. Although I would have loved to have this inks already swabbed on a piece of paper, you seem to enjoy the process of swabbing inks and checking all the colors and all of the goodies that comes out from checking ink colors. For the now, we're gonna leave it like this. In which, if you enjoy this content, let me know in the comment section down below if you want to see more ink videos for fountain pens, inks for fountain pens, of course. And I'm gonna try to just simply research and find a specific format that you may enjoy more and just go about that. Anyway, let me show you two inks from Tachi, which, of course, if you placed orders from PenVenture, you've seen handwritten notes with living proof that I am using those inks more and more frequently. And I'm gonna show you my favorite 2023 red ink color. And it's none other than this beauty right here. This is Tachi Aqua. So this is normal ink from Tachi, but this red, it's super glorious. This is one of the inks that I have in my Danny Trio Mikado. A complete altogether year back to back, this ink have been in my Danny Trio Mikado all the time. Let's check up this. So this is Tachi Aqua. So this is a little bit of a difference from the Diamine Poppy Red, because this is a super heavy saturated red ink. So you wouldn't have any shading going on. So this is a super rich ink. The entire ink is filled with pigment, so you will have a very deep red color and also a beautiful goldish sheen. And I'm gonna try to see if I can capture this. So this is why I've put it at the top of the list, because it will have more time to dry as we swab the other inks, and possibly you will see that beautiful gold sheen of this ink. The bottle is around 60% full, so there is a lot of fun time using that specific ink. So let's go further with the other ones. The second ink that I want to mention from Tachi is this beautiful Ugu Issue, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. So this is a green ink that I just love to use from Tachi because it has a lot of shading going on, so a lot of difference. When you use this ink, it goes down like a normal green ink, very underrated, but as it dries out, you will see that it's so beautiful. There's a lot of shading going on, lighter tones, darker tones, all together in a specific line of writing. So let me check this. Very good ink of my current year that I've used. Again, the bottle seems to be a little bit more full, but I just love the design of the Tachi bottles because they are so large in the way that they open up, so you can fill up fountain pens with size 8 gold nibs, pretty much anything and everything under the sun. So it's the different spectrum versus the inks from Diamine that come in the plastic bottle. Have a look at this. So it's just like an emerald greenish, very beautiful ink, and this may be a very nice substitution to a specific ink that I loved a lot and I still love this day, and it's Mont Blanc Irish Green. I love that ink, so if you want to try something similar-ish to that, but at the same time a little bit more different, this is the kind of a green that I would have loved to have. Mont Blanc inks, specifically Irish Green, and the other ones I think are not available anymore. I still have a full bottle of that ink, so plenty of time to enjoy that ink in the coming year or years. And let's have a look at something else. I'm going to show you something from Iroshizuku, my favorite ink from Iroshizuku, and then I'm going to show you my latest obsession with inks, specifically Sailor inks, Manyo inks. Those are this year obsession of myself, and I already have like 5 bottles of that ink type and collection. We're back. I had to take a very short break, and this gave time to this beautiful inks to dry. Have a look at this incredible green ink from Tatcha. So this is super nice, very interesting. And we continue, just like I told you, with the ink that I've been using a lot lately from Iroshizuku Pilot. And what's nice about this ink is that right now I can go and have some from the usual store inventory because we retail this ink right now. So none other than Pilot Iroshizuku Kon-peki, my favorite ink from Pilot. And let's see how it looks on paper. Pilot Iroshizuku. Beautiful turquoise with a lot of interesting colors in it, shading, a little bit of sheening going on, and I just love this ink. Now let's dip the Q-tip and let's have some swabs. Let's see how this is. Ooh. I cannot restrain myself from using this ink. For me, this is beautiful turquoise ink, something that I always use in my fountain pens. It's an ink that it's light enough when it goes down on the page to still make an impression, but also when it's dry it needs to look good, it needs to pop. And this Iroshizuku Kon-peki has pretty much everything in regards of all of my needs when we're dealing with a turquoise ink, to say so. Another great contender to this turquoise ink, it's something from Waterman. So this is Inspired Blue, this one, but I have not used this lately that much. I sticked with the Waterman Serenity Blue ink a lot, like I told you in the beginning of the video, but this one I have not used that much. So it didn't qualify on this year list of my favorite inks, to say so. With that being said, we are moving towards my latest obsession in regards of inks for 2023. I have discovered the Manyo inks from Sailor. Those are some of the most frequently used inks in my entire year 2023. I'm gonna start with something which is very beautiful. This is Manyo ink Ume. This is an ink that I used in a lot of my Urushi fountain pens because it has a very nice burgundy look to it. It has a little bit of sheen going on, beautiful sheen, and for me this ink is checking pretty much a lot of the boxes for a great ink. Very safe, very nice altogether, very easy to clean. It has a very specific smell. It's a smell that I don't know what to attribute this smell to, but basically it's just like chalk, to say so. There is a lot of vibrancy and potency in this inks from Manyo, from Sailor. The opening of the bottle is wide enough, and altogether I find them super nice. Just like with the others, let's start with the glass dip pen, and we have Sailor, Manyo. This is one beautiful ink. It has a lot of shading, this Ume ink, and let's have a go. Let's see how it goes on the page. Now look at this gorgeous burgundy color. Beautiful in every single aspect, in my opinion. I found 2 very beautiful blue colors from Sailor as well. So let's have a go with this one. This is a little bit more of a darker tone of blue. We have here Sailor, and this is Manyo Kick Yo. This is one of the revelations of this year. Beautiful blue black, some sheen going on as well, quite saturated, but it's still safe in a lot of fountain pens. I love the shade of this blue blackish color of an ink a lot. And you may say, Amy, you have a lot of blue black inks, why do you find this one special? I don't know. Sometimes they all look the same, but they all have something that just captures my my imagination, my interest, and makes me to just simply draw them in a writing instrument and just simply write with them. We're gonna move further with the other blue color, and if you have a little bit of patience, we're gonna go through the ink cemetery, to say so, where we retire some of the inks that we don't use that often, or I don't know, this is where I keep something that I'm gonna explain in a few moments, so have a little bit of patience. This is another gorgeous ink from Sailor Mania collection. So this is Sailor Mania, and this is Yomoji. Tealish turquoise color, to say so. And what I like about this is just recently I've seen a lot of orders from KVZ inks going through minty green, if I'm not mistaken, and I had the chance to open one of those bottles to check something, and it was like, oh my god, I just love an ink like this. And something very similar to that I found to be in this turquoise bluish color from Sailor, something that I simply adore. And last but not least, right now from Sailor Mania inks, my black Chingaya. I have been using black inks a lot, I'm not gonna hide. You may say that, Emmy, it's just black inks. Aren't all of them black? No, each one has a specific something that draws you to it. On this black Chingaya ink, I just love that super safe. I've discovered this ink being shipped in the same box like my favorite fountain pen of this current year. So this is my Sailor Battle of Japan King of Pen Itsukushima, and this came with a bottle of Mania ink black. Ever since I've discovered this black ink, this is what I've been using in a lot of my pens, and this bottle is just like half full. So I have the courtesy of going through the store inventory and take one of these bottles if I want so. And this is what I'm using a lot in regards of my black ink choices. And we have Sailor Mania Chingaya. And to be honest, it goes very smooth on the paper. It's very saturated. It's very well behaving. It has the specific Mania ink smell. Look at this. Super saturated black color. Love it, love it, love it. It doesn't need to always be a specific color. Black is just as fine as any single other color, but it has to have something that draws you to use this black ink. For me, I find two specific black inks that I'm drawn to use: Mania Chingaya and also Aurora Black. But lately I have not been using that much Aurora Black, so this is my other black ink which I've discovered this current year, so 2023. This is what I've been using more and more this current year. I want you to comment down below which is your ink obsession or favorite ink of this 2023 year. What do you think about my lineup? What do you want to ink up your fountain pen with from this lineup, and which fountain pen is that? Let's go through the cemetery, or this is the place that's no coming back from in regards to fountain pen inks. And right here on the bottom like this, you will see that I have some very specific kind of selection of spare bottles. So I have a Irish green Mont Blanc bottle of ink. I finished it, and altogether a lot of Leonardo black inks, because this is the ink that I've used to adjust fountain pens with. But also on top we have some inks that are in the cemetery, and I'm having this. So this is Noodler's Liberty Elysium and Noodler's Bay State Blue. This Blue Devil of an ink, it's just like the thing that I said, a Blue Devil. F around and you will find out why. Just way better, because this two inks I've been using roughly around 6 years ago in a Visconti Bronze Age Homo sapiens fountain pen with a double broad palladium trim touch nib. I was inspired to send the fountain pen for some nib work to a nib meister, being completely inked with Bay State Blue in it, or I cannot remember, either Liberty Elysium or Bay State Blue. But anyway, the single fact that the fountain pen tumbled in shipping and all of that ink came out and it was wrapped in something like bubbles or something like this, it completely painted that Bronze Age Homo sapiens to be a blue-black one. So yeah, let's just say I had a revelation prior to having Lamy do that Bauhaus Blue Lamy 2000. Well, I had the idea and the revelation of making a blue-blackish Homo sapiens, because that specific ink never came out from that fountain pen. It got to be impregnated, that blue, in the lava color of the fountain pen, and pretty much I don't know what I did with the fountain pen. That specific blue color never came out of that material. So this is why we got these two inks in the ink cemetery, to say so, right here. Also right here we do have two things of this nature. We have Noodler's Apache Sunset and Noodler's Habanero. There isn't anything wrong with these inks other than the fact that I'm not using that. Who knows, maybe sometimes we're going to remove some of these inks from the cemetery and we're going to see either one of this, how they look on the paper. Anyway, I still remember using this inks with a Noodler's Ahab fountain pen, if I'm not mistaken, something demonstrator. And don't even go there, because the smell of that specific fountain pen was horrible. But anyway, the inks, I have no problem with them, and I'm going to try to use them. Maybe we're going to start to experiment with these two inks and some other fountain pens. Pretty much this is the ink cemetery. This is what we don't use as inks that much. Maybe we're gonna remove some inks like the Apache Sunset and Habanero, chuck them up and to see how they would look in handwriting. This is kind of it in regards of my favorite inks of 2023. If you are looking for some ink, any other specific writing instrument or accessory, scroll down, you'll find the details for our website, our social media accounts, phone number, email, anything and everything that you may need in order to get in contact with me, and I will be for sure helping you out with that specific purchase. Let me know your opinion. Don't forget to support the growth of the Penventure YouTube channel. Thank you for sticking around with me on this video format. Let me know your suggestions in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the Penventure YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, just click there, turn the notification bell on, and you will be notified whenever we have new content. Speaking about content, if you want to continue watching my other videos, I'm gonna leave you this right here. You can click and enjoy. As always, I'm your host, Darren from Penventure. I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care, stay safe, Happy New Year. Bye-bye.